What starts here changes the world. I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. During SEAL training, the students are all broken down into boat crews. Each crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber boat, and 1 coxswain to help guide the dinghy. Every day your boat crew forms up on the beach and is instructed to get through the surf zone and paddle several miles down the coast. In the winter, the surf off San Diego can get to be 8 to 10 feet high, and it is exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke count of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and be unceremoniously dumped back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Karis Project podcast. We're back again with Marisa Simonetti, who's out in Minnesota and will be running for election, this time on the Senate level. So you want to just reintroduce yourself to our audience, Marisa, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Marisa Simonetti. I am running for Tina Smith's seat. She's the incumbent and is not running for re-election. And it's going to be a very exciting, competitive 2026.
So what made you decide to go up from from county commissioner, sorry, and then to go to Senate?
Some things are, you just feel guided in a certain direction, and there had been little indicators to me that perhaps this was the right direction. And one thing I've seen is as you take steps and as you learn and grow as a person, the way unfolds. So for me, in my heart, this feels like the direction I'm supposed to go, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so what do you want to do for your people in Minnesota so that you feel you can accomplish being elected as senator?
Yeah, one thing that I'm really focusing on is transparency, accountability, and equal treatment under the law. And that looks like focusing on the systems and procedures that are in place and using those systems and procedures wisely to really get to the core and provide containment. And we've had some issues of fraud here. So it's getting ahead of issues that would undermine the safety and stability of Minnesotans.
Okay, equal treatment. That's kind of like, I guess, a hot button topic. I mean,
Yeah.
what would you define as equal treatment? Because I mean, you see a thousand different definitions from people. What is it? What is your idea of what equal treatment means?
Yeah, so it means uniform interpretation of statutes, uniform application of procedures. In the last couple months, I had two separate traffic matters, and on consecutive days, two different judges ruled on Minnesota Statute 59001 in opposite ways, both times to my disfavor. So when people see things like that, they start to wonder, is this equal treatment? If on Monday one judge says this statute does not apply, and then to an almost identical case on Tuesday, the judge says this statute does apply, but it doesn't help you, people might raise an eyebrow at something like that.
I'm
Oh no,
talking to myself. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I guess I like to do
I
that
do that all the
sometimes.
time in the shower, talking to
Yes.
myself,
So
driving.
what I think we need to see is more of the equal application, like you're saying, because there should be a certain set. Obviously, if you break the law, you get punished. There should be no two-tier justice system. But how we apply it obviously is based on the circumstance, because you're not going to treat a 15-year-old kid the same way as a 45-year-old adult. But you suit it to the situation, but equal distribution, and everybody should have protection from the law, like, and so forth.
Yes.
So, which is very important. So you're going to say something?
No, you're talking about making sure that things are fair and people feel fairness on a gut level. It's kind of like we know it when we see it, but we can only know what's fair when the facts have been rationally presented and non-emotionally. So we really evaluate, okay, what's the standard that we're deciding on, and then what are the clear-cut facts, and remove any noise to just focus on the signal.
Yes, and I mean that was kind of the way people used to decide things and think about things, was the rationality. Just kind of, I know we were talking a little bit, I mean, before we got on here, but I just, even advertising. If you go back and you look at advertising around the turn of the 20th century, just a little bit before, and you look at advertising, say, starting more so, you saw this in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like 80s, 70s, 80s was probably a big shift. You'll see the change in the way it was. Before, it used to be like, this is how this is going to improve your life. It's logical. You can use it. Now it's like, it's not that way at all. And so we need to return to that type of rational thinking when applying, for example, the law, because I can't have some kind of feeling about someone or some political view that I'm going to use to apply the law. It should be whether or not I like that person's political views or whatever the case it is, that I apply the law in a consistent manner, regardless of my personal feelings about a situation. And that's what we need to return to, right?
100%, 100%. And slowing down enough to pay attention to where details are conflicting. Here in Minnesota, we just had a ICE agent shoot someone, and that person passed away. And the very first video that was distributed, it looked as if that woman was 100%, just a 100% innocent bystander and victim. And then today there was a video that was released where it appeared that perhaps that was not the whole entire story. So it's going slow enough before making a final decision to gather the facts.
Well, speaking of that, let's pull up the clip of this that was on the news.
We want to now take a closer look at the videos we just saw of the shooting incident. And joining us now to highlight some key points investigators will be looking at is NBC's Tom Winter. He covers law enforcement for us. So, Tom, we're going to start the video here, and we're going to stop it pretty quickly because there's stuff we were learning from the get-go. Again, the police chief saying this vehicle was blocking the federal agents right there.
That's right, Tom. And a big caveat, we don't know what happened before this, but they're definitely going to look at the fact this is an unmarked vehicle, but the lights are on. These are clearly members of law enforcement. So that's at least known to this driver.
Let's play the video because something else happens right here. Those officers approach the vehicle. They try to open the door. Let's stop it here. How will this help the investigators?
Whatever is said here, what these officers say, if the driver said anything or not, could really help them understand whether or not they thought there was some sort of an imminent threat. Was this person trying to listen to them? Were they scared? Or was this going to be a problem?
And then, of course, what the driver does next. Let's play that video. Trying to leave there. One of the officers felt like they were forced to fire, and they do. We want to show another angle, a reverse angle of the same incident here. We're going to freeze it. This is that same angle here. And what does this show us, Tom?
Well, this appears to show an officer right in front of the vehicle. That and between the way that the vehicle was moving and the timeline of that, how was the officer responding in that split second going to be critical for investigators.
Finally, one more piece of evidence we want to talk about here, and it is the bullet hole in the front of the windshield. What will this tell investigators?
Well, you look at this, you look at ballistics, you look at witness statements, you look at other video, all going to be part of this investigation. But, Tom, it's going to take some time.
All right, Tom Winter for us. Tom, we thank you.
Yeah, you know what, the thing that people aren't mentioning that I see that happens, and I know for me, obviously I'm a black man, and I've had interactions with law enforcement. I would never attempt to do this. Never, would never thought cross my mind. The reason being is that I understood that if armed federal agents in tactical gear were telling me to stop, if I didn't stop, death was a possibility, a strong possibility. So, like, regardless of whether it's wrong or right, you've got to sit down and start analyzing risk and asking what the decisions the person was making, because understanding me in that situation, I understand that doing that would result in death. I wouldn't do it. Like, I would rather deal with the situation, even if they were wrong, live and then fix it rather than dying, because now you can't rectify the situation because you're dead.
Right. And we see in this video how it was like, what, a couple seconds, the actual video, in 28 seconds, someone went from alive to dead. And the video actually Alpha News just got their hands on a video today, and it was in the New York Post, another angle from the actual officer. And there were two women in the vehicle, the one who was shot, but she was with another woman. That woman was outside the car making all kinds of statements, antagonizing with her phone out. And you hear her say, as she's getting in the vehicle, "Drive, baby, drive." And then you see the ICE agent get hit. So that's where some of this is taking a couple days, sometimes reserving judgment for a couple days to see all the angles will help us arrive at what actually happened before making any sort of opinions.
Well, yes, that's the rational take to make, is that I was like, I look at this and you're going to see evidence filtering out. Well, all I said was, I know that in my position, I would never do that because I knew the consequence, wrong or right, was that I could be dead. And I could, if it was wrong, I wouldn't live to rectify it because I'm dead and I don't want to die. So we have to sit down and look at things and let things play out and let the evidence speak for itself rather than doing things for clicks and so forth on social media.
You know, that's true. People do a lot of outrageous things for social media, so it's set our threshold for what is comfortable. And some of these things on social media, they may be a prank or we might not see the end result. So, yeah, people do feel a little more comfortable pushing the boundaries in situations that actually could be dangerous and go from a uncomfortable encounter to someone passing in under 30 seconds.
Yes, and this is where we have to start shifting the way that we think about things, because prevention, this is like the idea, prevention is better than cure. And this is a hard situation to look at because people can say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but at the point in time, stopping, and even if you got arrested, was better than being dead. Right? Because even if you were unjustly arrested, you could at least fight for your freedom, but you'd live. And her kids now don't have a parent, right?
Yeah. Take kind of looking from the other perspective, perhaps one argument that the people who were there could make is that they feel that ICE is fundamentally doing something wrong, and they feel in their own way they're doing something to stand up to injustice. So we had huge amount of protests last night and all day yesterday, and I went to the site where it happened, and there were a lot of people there bringing flowers and candles, standing outside in the cold. So it's like you said, there's a lot of emotion involved in things as well, and varying perspectives, which you're going to have varying perspectives no matter what the facts are.
Well, and everybody has a right to protest, like regardless of whether their position right, because we have the right to do these things, right? And we have the right to express and so forth. What I'm saying is that when you're going to do those things, you want to reduce the risk to yourself, right? And you want to protest so that it would be effective, because now someone's lost their life. And I'm not sitting down and saying who is right or who is wrong. It's just going to escalate a very bad situation to begin with, right? And
sounds like you're looking through a risk management lens.
Of course, you have to, right? If you don't,
yes.
Countries can't run without it. Businesses can't run without it. Families can't run without it, right? You have kids. Do you send your kids and just hand them over to anybody? No.
Yep.
Well, and I feel sorry for her kids because they're the ones who lost the most.
Yeah. Yep.
So speaking of that, what would you do as senator to help strengthen families in your state?
Yeah. One thing I see with people is the average Minnesotan is hardworking and wants to do the right thing and wants to be a valuable contribution. And it's having the correct accountability and systems in place that allow people to thrive, where when people feel like they're treated fairly and they trust leadership, that they don't have to scan for danger, then they can focus on nurturing their kids and being the best version of themselves in whatever their career or occupation may be. So yeah, it's that systems and accountability to lead to that end result.
Well, yes, and you touched on something about them making sure that they're safe, that they can worry about other things, and that's one of the roles of the government, is to maintain law and order. And in to maintain law and order, there has to be checks and balances to restrain and penalize wrong behavior by the government so that it functions normally, right? I like to say your government is like a toddler, right? You have to instruct your government, and you have to give them consequences for bad behavior. Otherwise, you're going to have a tyrant in your house.
Do you feel that there are currently consequences in place for behavior that doesn't serve the people?
They're not being exercised. There are things that people can use. And I watch that there's a lot of, even here in Canada, a lot of reinterpretation of things to insulate people from things. But you should not have that. But the people at the end of the day have the final say, and they need to exercise their rights. A lot of the times they just feel like they can't do anything, but they can.
Yeah, there's a confusion about what the rights may be and what the most effective path to actually implement some sort of change. And from a risk management perspective, that's really important to know. For example, I saw last night on TikTok, there's a list of variety of statutes when it applies to the federal government, which would be ICE, versus the local government, which would be like Minneapolis, the police department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. And they're operating with different systems. So when people are confused, it's hard to know what the correct action to take is.
Yeah, and I think that people need to understand how their government works and the framework of their government, because the Constitution sets up the structure and the framework on how the government is to operate and to set up the limits. A state constitution is always subject to the United States Constitution, because when the state joined the Union, they agreed that the United States Constitution is going to be the standard, and that their state constitution, it may enumerate more rights, but it cannot have less rights. And it has to be in harmony with the U.S. Constitution. Otherwise, don't join the Union. Too bad, right? And so if you don't want to do that, then leave, right? Those are your options. If not, then it becomes, now you're doing something that the other states are going to be like, we need to put you in line. And so that's what the federal system is there to make sure that everybody is following the Constitution they all agree to, right? And so now if you have the federal government coming in, that's generally because there's something going on that is in violation of the Constitution. This is the only justification for the federal government to come into your state to do something, is because there's a contravention. So what we have to find out is, what was that contravention? Is it justified? And now what are our avenues to deal with it, right? Lawfully.
Yeah, the lawful avenues often feel slower, and they require a high degree of emotional regulation to execute. And they require a lot more research, because one thing I think when I've talked to people, they feel that some of these systems are designed in an intentionally confusing way so that other people can run circles around them. And so when that is the case, people feel maybe a little bit of like learned helplessness, like no matter what they do, they're just not treated fairly. And there's perhaps they also feel that perhaps there's no accountability for when they're treated unfairly as well. And that leads to some of these what look like dramatic situations that spiral. It's like it's all like bottled up inside people, and then one day it just kapow.
Yes, and some of it, yes, absolutely is by design. Like some of the, like you look at taxation laws, like, I mean, you just want to beat your head against the desk because it's mind numbing, right? And some of the rules and regulations that they do, it can change, and it's subject to opinion and interpretation and so forth. And these are things that fundamentally have to change, because you have to have some consistency. Try building a bridge and everybody does whatever they think is right, and how long is that going to last, if it even gets to be constructed, right? So there has to be some consistency, and reducing the amount of red tape, bureaucracy, and confusion, because a lot of these things are not that difficult to understand. They're just overly complicated by people who have been working with these policies. And if you've been working at a government place for like 20 years, you know every policy in the book. It's easy for you, but some person who has no idea, well, you tell them to do this, this, and this, and you're like, you might as well be speaking German or Swahili to them, because it's not going to make sense. So you got to make it easier. 100%. I agree. What? Go ahead.
Even having people in place who have a genuine and honest intention, and this is not saying people in place do, there's tons of people who are elected who do have genuine and honest intentions, but it's like any industry, whether it's a medical or financial services or anything, there's always going to be some bad apples. And sometimes those bad apples can cause disproportionate effects, and that's what a lot of people's concern is. But if you know and you trust leadership, they have your best interests at heart, then oftentimes maybe you might not like a decision, but you can make peace with it.
Well, you have to be able to see that there's a demonstrable history of good actions from that person, right? Like, because you can't just put blind trust into your leaders. You have to see that their actions are consistent. And then if there's something that you can't see right away, then after the fact, you should be able to make sense of it or rationalize, okay, well, this is why this happened. It may not personally, I may not liked it or done it, but I can see the sense behind it, right? But when you get someone, for example, like if you have somebody that is stealing, embezzling money, right, and insulating themselves, like hypothetically, that benefits nobody. There's no justification for it. Sorry, right? Consequences needs to happen, and criminal investigation, right? They need to have that. That's where we were talking before. Equal application of the law, that has to happen.
Yeah, that fairness and transparency, so that people don't feel like they're working so hard, working multiple jobs, and then other people are just on a different sort of journey, and they feel taken advantage of, is perhaps the best thing. They're trying to do the right thing, and they're being, in actual practice, punished for trying to do the right thing. And that's how things go really south, because people follow the payoff of their actions. And so if you make the payoff of someone's actions punishment and horrible feelings, well, nobody wants to live feeling like that.
Well, yes, and I think sometimes, like, I mean, there's a little difference between, like, for example, fathers and mothers, right? I mean, watching the way women are with their kids and the way fathers are with their kids, they're a little bit different. And as men, we're a little bit less inclined about feelings, right? I mean, my desire as a father is like, I don't care what I have to deal with as long as my children are safe. I'm good. I feel my well-being is fine, and mentally I'm fine. I can go through like burning buildings. They're safe. You take away their safety, then I don't care how good I feel externally. If my kids, and any parent will tell you this, but men are built a little differently. But you see what I'm saying is that you want to make sure sometimes suffering is okay for the good of the people, right? And if you need to get something done that's right, then I'm okay with suffering so that other people don't, especially when it comes to my children. Yes.
Because the alternative long-term suffering that you would feel from your children being harmed is worse than a temporary, you see the result of your choices leading to greater safety, which leads to a positive feeling, versus long-term downward spiral and negative feeling, and then also perhaps the negative feeling of inaction, that you could have done something to protect your kids and didn't, and your kids are harmed. So it's kind of a double negative emotional whammy.
Well, yes, and it's also like, just like emotion aside, it's like I look at it, is it right or is it wrong? And that's the determining factor. Well, sometimes you have to shovel the manure to get the job done, right? If there's manure all over your yard, you got to get rid of it. It's not a pleasant job, but it's necessary in order for you to live and experience life a certain way, which you don't want to have that stink on your doorstep and then the disease and all that other stuff. But you get the point, right?
And the flies.
That too, right? So kind of circling back, what is it, as from your experience, is obviously you're a parent and so forth, and what is that you think that you can bring from that will help you make decisions with respect to what families need in your state from a federal level?
So making the comparison of being a parent and providing a containment and circumstances for the highest and best growth in your children, to applying that to a position of leadership in the government.
Yeah, and how will it help you make better decisions being a parent yourself as opposed to someone who doesn't have family?
That is a really good question. Someone once defined for me love as willing the good of the other. And so to act you love your children, and to act against your children's best interest because you love them also hurts you too. So you might not always like some of the decisions that you have to make. Like my son, for example, he doesn't always like when I tell him he has to keep his room and bathroom clean. But I notice after that boundary is held and implemented, you can just feel that he feels good in his heart and he feels expanded. And like, I did that. And it's having those consistent systems and standards across time that they know there's a trust when things are consistent. It's lack of confusion. So it's the systems, the trust in the systems, that they'll be fairly applied.
Okay. I mean, obviously, you have to sometimes make decisions that aren't going to make your kid feel good, but they're necessary, right? And that's the thing. If when you show that the people can trust you, sometimes they may not see the initial benefit of whatever decision is made, but maybe a year or two after they see it, then they're like, okay. And that's kind of how that trust relationship gets worked. But they have to show something good in the beginning, right? Because you can't just be like, just trust me, and then then you see a few years later, well, the whole country's burning down, right?
Yeah. Trusting in the competence of the leader. And how do you evaluate competence if you've only known them for a short period of time? Is you look for the current fruit of their actions. What have they done in their past, and established consistency over time that is likely to repeat into the future.
Okay, and so what other things like that you have that you would like to bring forward of issues that you think that you can solve or help contribute to making better?
Yeah, there's a lot of good people, and the more that I talk to people, there's a repeated frustration that they have spoken up about things. And it's really, they want to see transparency, they want to see fairness and accountability. And it's allowing those people whose hearts are in the right place to express that and to serve the community. So just empowering them to do and follow through with where their heart is at.
Well, I think that learning and understanding what needs to be done is important. I think that a lot of the knowledge that people should have about how their government works and what options they have need to be returned to the people, because they've not been taught, they haven't been spoken of, and they say, well, you need to walk this narrow path. People have to understand that the law and the Constitution is designed to protect the innocent, not the guilty, right? And it has to be used that way. That's the first and foremost understanding of what it is, because people came together to create this, to protect not just their families, their communities, and their countries, which are all building blocks of the next one up. And the family is the the basic building block of your country. And so if you cannot think about protecting your family, you cannot think about protecting your country, because if you destroy your families, you destroy your country. And so they have to have that thoughts in mind and understand that was the way that it was designed to work. If you don't understand that, you're going to do it wrong every time.
That's a really good point. So U.S. Senate works with the federal government, so they're also concerned about how we impact not just what happens in the country, but also globally. And one thing that doesn't seem sustainable is the breakdown of families and the level of internal fighting. And if our country wants to remain any sort of global superpower, some would say, or higher power, or with a voice in the world, the sales cycle per se, how we're behaving now, is not going to, doesn't seem like it's going to lead to that result, because we're cutting each other down from inside. So that's something to consider as well.
Well, yes. I mean, getting your house in order is absolutely necessary, because you can't affect anything, any change, any effective change globally if your house is in shambles, right? Like, because you're going to be doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons, or even the right things for the wrong reasons at the wrong time. And doing the right thing at the right time is necessary. You can do the right thing at the wrong time and still cause something very bad to happen. Timing is key.
100%.
So I know that we're running up here on time, but I want you to sort of give us a little synopsis of why people should vote for you, and what should they, what will you do for your people? So.
Yeah, so I have a track record of, if you just look within the court files of the last couple months, I have a track record of creating accountability and not being bamboozled by pressure or the law. And that's one thing. Understanding how to operate within the framework of the legal system is really important, because it's understanding the clear statutes and staying emotionally regulated enough that you're not intimidated or distracted from making sure that the just objective that you're looking for is implemented. And there are people who will try and distract you or pressure you out of those things. So that framework applies to everything. And I think people, as they start to observe and let things play out and gather the facts, will arrive at a very different sort of picture of the type of person I am. So I'm on the journey with everyone, and we're going to have a good time.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, and we will definitely have some updates in the future. And I hope that everything goes well with you. And I'm going to close here with a prayer before we go. All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, grace, and mercy. We thank you for all that you have done for us. And Father, I ask of you to bring the men and the women together to rebuild their families, their community, and their nation, and so that they can have some protection and stability for the children who need it the most, is my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hello friends, my name is Keisha and I'm a proud member of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. And I'm also a survivor of human trafficking. My trafficking began in Saskatchewan, moved into Alberta, and even crossed into the United States. I was stalked, hunted, and ignored by the very systems over the last 5 years that were meant to protect me. This is why, with my father Dale Richardson, we started the Karis Project. This is an Indigenous, survivor-led movement for humanity dedicated to exposing trafficking, government corruption, and holding institutions accountable. One of the most powerful tools that we are using is the petitions for redress of grievances. These are lawful constitutional actions rooted in Canadian and US law, and in treaties that tie us together across provinces, across states, and even across borders. These petitions are precedent-setting. They create a binding record. They demand accountability while representing reconciliation in action. Indigenous and non-Indigenous people working side by side to preserve liberty for all. But we cannot do this alone. We need your help to keep this movement alive, to raise awareness and to build a legacy of justice for Indigenous women, for trafficking survivors, and for families everywhere. Thank you. Please stand with us. Your support makes this work possible. Together we can restore justice, heal families, and defend freedom. And I will close with my favorite quote. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who cannot be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. And men who will stand for the right, though the heavens may fall. Thank you.
Can someone please show me a document that shows me that this is Randy Mangus's home? That it's Randy Mangus's home.
This is the court order that was served.
No. No. Listen. No, I want the writ that's signed by the judge. You're supposed to have a writ. You're supposed to have a writ. No, I want a writ that's signed by the judge. Can you give me that right now? A writ. No, a writ that is signed by the. No, where's the writ that's signed by the judge? Where is the writ that's signed by the judge? Where is the writ that's signed by the judge? You're knocking down the door. Where's the writ that's signed by the judge? Where's the writ? Okay, point it out to me. Where's the writ that is signed by the judge? The writ. The writ that is signed by the judge. A writ? Can we please show me? Okay. Where's the judge's signature? This is a writ, right? Where's the judge's signature? Please, you have to have, lawfully, you have to have a judge's signature on there. Where is it?
The writs are issued by the clerk
No.
of the court.
Where is
under the authority of the court.
Where is the judge's signature? A judge, not a commissioner, a judge. Where is the judge's signature on the writ of restitution?
We're litigating this with the sheriff's
No,
office.
I'm
This is
asking
not
you,
the answer
lawful
to what
orders.
you're seeking.
This is lawful
If you
orders.
have a court
Where?
order that
No.
countermounts this, we will
Where
stop right
where
now.
is the writ of restitution?
unfortunately,
Where is the writ of
you did not
restitution
provide that
with a
when
judge's
requested.
signature?
You know the history, you know the court cases, you know what the decision was out of the appeals court.
The appeals court, listen, did you look at the Court of Appeals that says that order is not valid?
Did you read my email?
Listen, did you read, where's the writ of restitution? Is the writ of restitution signed by a judge?
The writ of restitution won't be signed by a judge. The judgment
No.
will be.
No,
judgment.
by law.
The judgment is signed.
No, by law, a writ of restitution is.
We're not here
That's
to
your
argue.
opinion?
You guys continue
It's not
to
my
do it.
opinion.
Continue to do it.
It's not my opinion. Who owns this home? Who owns this home? I want to know that from you. Who is the titled owner of this home? Who is the titled owner of this home? It is for you to find out who the titled owner is. Who is the titled owner of the home? Who is the titled owner of the home?
Did you hold that for a couple
Report Miracle 20.
Who is the titled owner of the home?
Report Miracle.
I'm not here to argue.
No, I'm not here to argue either. Who is the title owner of the home? Because that is who has possession.
827 Davis.
Who is it then?
Been decided by the court.
Okay, show me where the court decided who owns
You
it.
have the court order. They're binding on you as well as.
Okay, then point it out who owns the home. Who owns the home?
My job
Because-
is not to argue here.
Who owns the home? You point out who owns the home. Point out who owns the home.
And so that's
Point
exactly
out who
what
owns the home. I'm asking who the titled owner is.
I'm not going to get into that discussion. I'm just going to tell you what's
That's for
necessary.
you to find out who the titled owner of the home is.
Ma'am, that court order tells me everything that I need to do. Now, I went the extra step.
Who
My
is the
email
title
to
owner?
you explains all
Who
this.
is the title owner of the home?
I'm not going to be baited into an argument with you.
I'm not baiting you in. I'm just asking you a simple question. Who's the title owner of the home?
You have
This is the
recourse to
title owner of the
courts.
home. This is
You're
what you're
welcome-
doing to my
you're
mother,
welcome to
who's the
call
title
judge.
owner of the
You're
home.
welcome to get. You can call the court right now.
Every one of my neighbors know that this is the title. My mom's the title owner of this home.
Ma'am, that court order tells us that we need to enforce the judge's word, his decision, and
No, listen, if you find out who the title owner is and you find out that the writ is unlawful, it is for you to take it up on this.
It is a neutral party. It is disinterested.
And you should have it go back to the court saying,
no,
listen.
I'm not here to advocate.
Do you know, did we turn in documents showing my mom's the titled owner of the home?
Ma'am,
did we turn in documents
party to your court case?
Did we turn in documents to the sheriff's office that shows that she's the title owner of the home?
I don't know what you sent to the sheriff's office.
I sent it to your department.
I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know.
I sent it to your department.
That's fine. This is the judge's word.
And where's the City of Goodyear police that they told me was out here?
They understand that we're...
Where is the City of Goodyear police that they told me was out here?
You'd have to ask them.
Did they show up?
Yes, they did.
Where are they?
I don't know. It's a decision for them to answer.
Circulation. I need these off my wrists.
Please.
My arms go numb as it is.
My mom has medical issues.
I do not want...
My mom shouldn't be arrested. This is her own home.
She wouldn't have been arrested if she not had pushed into us and decided to tear things off of my...
She's trying to get to her front door. It said she's allowed to.
She's not allowed to tear things off of the deputy sheriff and throw them onto the ground.
This
is captured on battery-worn camera.
This is her home.
It does not matter that it's her home. She can't do that.
You can't come in a home that belongs to her with a bogus, not signed order.
The court order speaks to it all.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
Because, go look.
Unfortunately, we're going to disagree on that.
Who is the title owner of the home? Why can't you say that?
That's not anything to do with the work that I'm doing here.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
Enforcing this court order.
If they told you to come kill us, then you could do that because the court order says this. No. So if you find out that she's the title owner of the home, you stop and you go back to the court and say, "Listen, something is wrong here."
I said the same thing to her as I said to you. If you have a countermanding court order that stops me from enforcing this, I will be glad.
You know that it belongs to her. Why will you not say that she's the title owner?
I'm not going to get into an argument.
I'm Detective Miller.
2 years old,
Okay.
and this is what you're
We're
doing
with your
to me.
children inside. We're getting their belongings. Right now you have 12 minutes to grab some belongings out of the residence.
You need to stop hurting my mother.
I'm not hurting your mother.
This is her home. You know that. I gave you documents the first day you came here.
12 minutes.
I gave you documents the first day that you were in here. And what did you say? Who did you find out who the title owner of the home was?
You emailed them to me. Yes, you did.
You were out here.
Okay.
Who's the title owner of the home?
To get your stuff out, we have the court order.
Who's the title owner? Just who's the title owner of the home?
Executing the court order.
Who's the title owner of the home?
By a judge.
Who's the title owner of the home?
Okay.
Who's the title owner of the home?
Okay, you have 11 minutes if you want to grab some belongings out. I'll go in with you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to sit this right here. This lady that you have cuffed, this is on new medication for her heart. I have a doctor on the phone over there that has said...
One coming in, Palmer. Two of them.
I'll give you some back, bro.
Detective Miller, who's the homeowner? Who is the homeowner?
It is court ordered that we take
Just,
out.
I want to know who the homeowner is.
Hey, Chris, this is Detective Miller. If you wouldn't mind starting the movers over here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, you have 10 minutes and 15 seconds to grab some belongings.
What?
Can I help you with building stuff? Because I've pretty much got everything I have.
Just grab these things, please.
Just so you guys are aware, there are movers coming. They're going to bring everything to a storage facility.
Listen, I don't want anything moved. I live here. He doesn't own this home. What about my protective order? What about my protective order?
Come on, grab your belongings.
What about my protective order?
Grab your belongings.
Can anybody tell me who the title owner of this home is? You have the documents, right?
A case that you need to plead to a judge, not to us.
You have a document, right?
You're pleading a case.
Do you have a document? Did I give it to you? Did I give you the document?
Grab your belongings.
Exactly. You won't answer.
What are you heading to, ma'am?
I'm just looking to see if there's anything in my kid's room. This is my house. Look at, can I show you the assessor's office?
Ma'am, you gotta go.
This is, yeah. You guys know.
Okay. We brought them up here and they got what they needed for the time being.
Are you okay, Why? Okay. Who's over Chief Chigola since he won't give me that information?
His supervisor, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who this is.
Are you the owner of the house?
Who is this?
I'm the moving company. So can I speak with you before you leave?
You know what? You're going to be part of the lawsuit too, because she's the title owner. Can I show you title to the home?
Wait, this is Chris. He's in charge of it. Chris, okay. I know how good you are on the packaging, and I know you do really good. But if you could do special care on his Legos, all that stuff, package that really good, and box that in, which says Wyatt. And Wyatt,
I am not paying for moving.
Wyatt?
No, ma'am, you're not.
Wyatt. What other stuff is
all the way in.
I'm not paying for a storage shed.
You want all that stuff there too, right?
In your name. Okay.
No, I'm not paying for it.
Ma'am, go talk to Detective Miller about that.
I'm going to pay for it.
Why are you taking? Do you know who's lawful homeless is?
Ma'am, speak to Detective Miller.
Yeah.
So basically.
Teresa, do you have personal belongings that you need for right now? Hygiene stuff?
What are you doing to my mother? She has medical problems, and you're doing this to her, and she's the homeowner. Do you understand she's the homeowner? Would you like me to show you so you understand that she's the homeowner? I have documents.
I'm here to keep the peace. I'm not involved
Okay.
in this. I'm here to keep the peace. That's why I'm here.
If I show you documents, she's the homeowner?
I can't make that determination. I'm sorry. I can't.
You can't make the determination? What if I show you on the assessor's
I
office?
still can't make that determination. That's not for me to decide. I'm sorry. I know that's
Call
not
for the fire department to come out.
We've already done.
He will not allow us to call for an ambulance, but he will allow, you said?
I called for the fire department to come out and do an evaluation.
Okay, so they're going to come and do an
Why won't they let you call for an ambulance?
I didn't tell
No,
anyone
you
to call for an
said
ambulance.
that,
I said I
but
would
what
not
you
call
can
for
do.
an ambulance. I called for fire.
I wasn't here. I didn't hear that. No, maybe it was a highly suggested.
Let's get some more advice here right now. All right. I need my camera up there. I need my camera's in a silver container. Hey Nick, I need my camera.
I work law enforcement in the state of Washington. This is a great one.
And this guy right here is part of the court system who's corrupt.
So sorry. We'd love to have you.
You guys have 5 minutes. Be off the property, okay? You guys have been warned that you're trespassing. Gave you guys sufficient time to grab personal belongings.
This is not his home. Do you understand that? You have a due diligence to look at who this home belongs to. You have the due diligence as the sheriff's office.
4 minutes and 29 seconds, okay?
Deputy, can you move your car?
I know that's why I'm having.
Oh, shoot. Sir, what's your name?
Oscar.
Okay, you're going to be part of the lawsuit too. You're all going to be part of the lawsuit.
So what I would like to do for
No, you're going to move out of my way because I'm telling you, I'll show you who the homeowner is. You want to see who the homeowner is?
The moving company, ma'am.
He's going to bring you to the storage facility.
Storage so that you guys have access to your stuff.
I want stuff in my house where I live because
That's not my job.
this is not his home.
I mean, if I take it back.
I was already awarded the home. You want to see the court order?
Okay, you have 3 minutes and 15 seconds, okay? He's offering.
Where's the other two kids? Where's the other two kids? I don't want to pay for it, so he better be paying for it. And I got him. Where's he at again? The mover guy?
Okay.
Sir, the mover guy?
Yes, ma'am.
You said you're paying for the storage shed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm not owing anything.
He's going to take you to where all the stuff is going to go. That's what he's trying to get to you.
Yep. Can I have, before you guys, I want a list of everybody who's here and their badges.
Business card, you could have another one.
No, I don't. I want a list of everybody who's here and their badge numbers.
I'll give that to you out at the store. If you want to load the kids up, put them in.
I can't get out of here.
Well, yeah, we'll move that stuff.
It's okay, Gary. Where is the other two kids? Okay, can you get the other two kids? Because I don't want them to get arrested. Please get my mom off the ground. I'm sorry. Why are they doing this to you?
Because I tried to get to my front door.
Can you please get her arms from behind her back?
He won't.
Then at least take her away and get her unlocked here.
We've offered to put her in air conditioning.
In their car? I have my own
She's
car.
refused to do that. I never buy her water out. If you give her water, she doesn't need water.
This is her home.
I told him to put the handcuffs in front of me so I can drink the water, and he said no, he'll feed it to me.
So when the fire department gets here, we'll reevaluate.
Yeah, then all of a sudden that's
Where's the? Can you get the other two kids, please?
They're on their way back now.
Because I can't move out of here until I get them.
Yeah, they're right here.
Kids, can you put these in the car too?
I'll grab it.
You're walking in between the legs, brother. Where's the container for the fish?
I need that mover's card because
Theresa. I'm Deputy Kamarowski.
I need that.
Can I talk real quick? I know you're upset.
They told me to get out of here. So
Let me talk to you real quick.
talk to me. Tell me who the homeowner is.
If you could just listen to me real quick so I can explain something to you that's important, okay? They're required to move this stuff off and keep it in a storage facility for 30 days, okay? The mover guy, his name is Chris Sherman.
Listen, the things that are attached to this home that my mom had, air conditioners, they need to come. The soft water system that needs to come. This thing that's attached here,
won't be able to take out.
It's quick release.
Okay.
This is part of the air conditioners are my mom. The microwave,
ones I could take out.
the refrigerator inside and outside. Yep.
Okay, so
and I'm only saying this not because I want it moved.
Yeah,
because this guy right over here is part of the court system who's corrupt, who knows it belongs to us.
Can I explain something to you, or do you not want to listen?
I want a list of everybody who's here,
Yeah, okay.
every deputy who's here.
But can I talk to you now, or are you ready to listen? Okay, so they're going to move everything in your house, and they're going to store it for 30 days, no charge to you, nothing's going to be a charge to you for the first 30
It shouldn't
days.
be because I should be right here.
Okay, let me finish, please. So this gentleman wants to take you to the nearest storage facility of your choice of something that you want to use and put it in your name so you have immediate access to it, okay?
Okay, he can do the air conditioner run right here off of Palm Valley.
I'll do that. Okay, so I'll meet you up there. So they want...
I don't want to go right now because I have a lot of calls to make.
Okay, but if that's when you'll have to happen. Okay, can you do that as a priority because if they put it in their name, it just becomes they
No, it won't go in our name. It'll go back to our warehouse.
Yeah,
and you don't want that. I mean,
so
that's a huge amount of money.
So if you could just go to there and just get that done real quick, because they won't put it in your name unless you're present with an ID. That's just how the storage facilities work. Okay? So we're trying to make it.
Otherwise, it's going to go.
I understand you don't agree with this process, but we're trying to.
No, I don't agree with my mom and her own home.
The fire department is going to tend to her.
This is her home. Okay. This punk over here knows it is.
Listen to what he's explaining.
Okay, so if you could just go with him initially and get that taken care of, half an hour maybe, and then so you.
And who is Chief Chagola's superior officer?
I report to Deputy Chief Frank McWilliams.
McWilliams?
Yes.
Okay. And can you state his phone number on here for me?
I don't have his phone number. You can call our dispatch, our main line, 602-876. What is the main line in 1011?
Yeah, 1011. Yes. So if you could just make sure you go with Mr. Sherman to get that set up so you can have immediate access to your belongings, so there's not any delay in that.
Can I get you to do a huge favor, Theresa?
You know what a huge favor is?
I need this vehicle to be moved because we got to
let my mom do it.
Well,
it's her vehicle.
That may not be possible, and so I don't want to be responsible for towing a vehicle if it's not necessary.
You're telling me to do two different things. Get out of here within 5 minutes. To move this vehicle, move that vehicle.
All right, I'm giving you an opportunity.
The kids are in the vehicle.
We can
Come on, guys.
How we doing?
Make sure they have enough room, Theresa.
I'm hurt.
They're hurting her. Can you please have them removed? They said that you can give authority for that.
I need you to get back.
Okay.
I need you to get back so we can do our job.
Can they ask to have the handcuffs removed or to move to the front so she can be comfortable?
So the kids are in the van. If you wouldn't mind getting some air conditioning going for them. And back in the van out with them. And then going with.
Hey everybody, Keisha here. So today I want to talk to you a little bit real quick about Tina Peters' case. So on April 9th, 2024, myself, Maureen Steele, and Ann Vandersteel all went into the state of Colorado to file a petition for redress of grievances. Tina Peters actually also signed this petition. In fact, she actually had exculpatory evidence related to the election fraud that was outlined in the petition that was not allowed to go into the court. The petition was not brought to the floor, and as a result, Tina Peters was unlawfully imprisoned. My father, Dale Richardson, was actually tortured in the state of Colorado to suppress his evidence of treason against the United States, which was based on improper engineering controls which allowed for the spread of the COVID-19 virus, which was likewise created at Wuhan by Peter Daszak and the EcoHealth Alliance with the pathogen, which were handed over to the Chinese by the Winnipeg Biolabs. This created the circumstances for widespread election fraud. My father Dale and I are friends of Tina Peters, who has been politically persecuted for standing up for the liberty of all Americans. And she, as a sister in Christ, has been persecuted like I have for standing up for the liberty of all people. In the state of Colorado, women and Christians are being persecuted on monumental levels, and I'm calling for everyone to stand up for Tina Peters in every way possible, including using the Karis Project Action Plan to compel the state government to put the petition for redress of grievance to the floor so that Tina Peters can petition before the State House that belongs to the people. And if Colorado continues to deny a Republican form of government, we will implore that Congress and President Donald J. Trump initiate Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution which guarantees a Republican form of government, to the states and use that just power to intervene and provide what the Constitution has ordained. The time is upon us to come together and stand united as people, and let the world know that we stand together to preserve this perfect union for all Americans and our posterity. That is why, y'all already know, I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who cannot be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right, though the heavens may fall.